All right, today we're going to be taking some notes on how to graph efficiently. That would be having to do the least amount of work for different types of problems. Last unit we learned 3 methods for graphing, and we talked about those 3 methods in summary at the end of the unit. So what were the 3 methods? Can you brainstorm them and write them down right now? The first method we learned was the table method, where we had to pick at least 4 points and make a table and plot them out. The second method we learned was the intercept method, where we found the x and the y intercepts. And the third way was the slope-intercept method. And this method was where we found m and b, and then used them to help us graph. All 3 methods produce the same line, and you're going to be doing that here on the assignment for the previous page. So we have to decide when would we use the table method or the slope-intercept method. So it says slope-intercept form here. When would we have to use slope-intercept form? So that method we want to use when the equation is in y equals mx plus b form. If it's already in y equals mx plus b form, all we have to do is identify the m and the b. For example, if I gave you y equals -1/2 x minus 2, what is the slope of this equation? It's a -1/2, and I put the negative with the 1 on top. It doesn't have to be, but it makes it easier for graphing. And the b, don't forget the negative sign out in front, is a -2. That's the same as if that was plus -2. So to sketch out a graph of that, we're going to just make a quick coordinate plane, and then we're going to make some predictions. So based on this negative sign here, my slope, that negative there, means that my line's going to go down. And because a -1/2, the absolute value of it, is less than 1, it's going to be not steep. And my y-intercept is -2, so I'm going to begin at -2. So if I start at 0, -2, that's my beginning point, my y-intercept, and then I go down 1 and right 2, there is my line. So that was really easy to graph because it was already in slope-intercept form. Okay, and here's a reminder of slope-intercept form right here. Okay, it's already in slope-intercept form, just do your slope-intercept method. The table method is also really easy to use when you're in slope-intercept form, but that's a lot more work than just identifying m and b and going. When would we use the intercept method? When we're in standard form, that's right. ax plus by equals c. So if they give me an equation already in standard form, we would use that intercept method. For example, if I had 3x minus 6y equals 18. I don't want to have to solve for y and deal with all that. Let's just use the intercept method. So remember, we have our headings, x-intercept, y equals 0. So if y is 0, this is totally gone, and we're left with 3x equals 18. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 6. So that's the coordinate of 6, 0. And if I'm looking for my y-intercept, I'm on the y-axis, so to be on the y-axis, x has to be 0. Now when you plug 0 in for x, don't forget about this negative sign here. It's still there, so it's -6y equals 18. Divide both sides by -6, and y equals -3. So that point is 0, -3. So a quick sketch of that. 1, 2, 3, down to -3 for the y-intercept, and over 6 for the x-intercept. And there's that one. Certainly I could have used a table or done the slope-intercept method, but the most efficient way for that was, since it was already in standard form, to use the intercept method. Okay, so now what you're going to do is go back to the previous page. You're going to first put these in slope-intercept form, and then you're going to do the 3 different methods, and you're going to graph these on a piece of graph paper. The method is just a different method, and so what you want to do is make sure that you're graphing it all on the same line, okay? And then decide which one is the easiest method. So all three of these will produce one line, all three of these will produce one line, okay? When you're done with that, you can also move on to the next page after our note page, which was efficient ways to graph, and you should be prepared to be able to make a determination of what is the best way to graph those three. That's the end of your notes.